Where do you think 3D printing is heading in the next decade? Do you believe that open source has a future? Are you consider using Clipper-based firmware in your upcoming 3D printer models? What's your opinion about the current competition's 3D printers whose main selling point is super high speed printing? First of all, thank you very much for giving us some time. I promise it will be quick and
that's fine.
Absolutely not painful for you.
Thank you. I'm busy, but I'm busy with doing what I love. So
that's a thing that we are having in common. One thing I just want to tell you in person that in 2013 I bought my first 3D printer. Do you guess what the printer was? No, just kidding.
What was the year?
2013.
So I think that Mark II?
Mark II, right. Yeah, with the... It was like a kit from, an old store in Spain. But
BQ Hefestos.
Yeah, BQ Hefestos, right. The basement of that printer was a Prusa. And it's something like changed completely my life. And I personally, face-to-face tell you that it's something like, I want to thank you, So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, I appreciate it.
I want to make it clear, you are not obligated to answer anything you don't want to, okay? This interview, the idea is to make you feel comfortable, like you are in home, and just to say whatever you want to say, okay? So,
okay. I am starting to get nervous with, with intro like that. I have nothing to hide.
No, that's the point, The thing is that you feel comfortable, like talking to a friend, something like that, okay? The thing is, I'm going to make you 10 simple questions coming from the Spanish community.
Okay,
let's do it. And they want to know your opinion. The first question, that's from mine, is how are you? How do you feel?
Well, I'm well. This year was quite exhausting because we've been doing so much. We basically changed our whole portfolio. We released Mark IV, XL, and especially, we are still feeling fallbacks from the part shortage, which was extremely difficult. We've been ordering chips 2 years in advance for 2 years of production, and yada yada yada. So I'm very happy that we are now. Actually, right now we are doing the largest production monthly. Every month we break production record.
Nice.
So yeah, printers are flying out the door. So I'm super happy for everyone who has the printer on order, and we are doing as much as we can to expedite it.
And it's something that obviously the people is going to appreciate to hear from you, that you are, improving, and of course you are going to keep improving. So it's good news.
I mean, we have very good track record with keeping our printers up to date. For example, Mark III is almost 7 years old, and it still gets firmware updates regularly, and we have upgrade kits and everything. But obviously, as we are standing here in between the new printers, so we just released 2 new printers, Prusa Pro HT90 and Prusa Pro SLX. So this event is the end of the year for me, that I can
and now you are
get a little bit of relaxation.
Yeah. That's one of the questions we have for you. Why is Formnext so important from Prusa, and what are the new products you have brought here?
So there are 2 types of events we go to. Usually it's maker fairs, and that is like meeting with the community. And this is bigger, more industrial. We can see what others are doing, and we can show our very efficient and affordable machines to the people who are looking for something more industrial. Because we've been always cheap enough that regular people can buy us, but also so goddamn good that companies can use us too. So that is why we come here, and Formnext in Germany especially is very efficient for us because of the distance.
You are very close from Czech Republic to...
Yeah, so today we have 90 Prusa people here. Priceless, the fact that we can so efficiently, everyone can get the feel of the 3D printing and what's new, and come up with ideas.
One thing I want to add to this point is that actually Control 3D and other partners, we make a kind of maker fair in Spain. So you are absolutely invited to join us if you want. It's like in April, May. So if you want, you are invited. Formally invited.
I will try to go, but
it's complicated right now.
Next year I want to take the traveling a little bit slower, and I don't want to say exactly why, but there might be a family edition.
Well, that's the most important thing in the world, so we completely understand it. But coming back to the questions, we have one very special for us because Control 3D is a Spanish-speaking YouTube channel, and our audience is not only from Spain, but also from Latin America. We want to know how you perceive the Spanish-speaking 3D printer community.
I love you guys.
Yeah, obviously you say the same to everyone.
No. I've done a lot of shows in Spain and Spanish-speaking countries, and just the hard welcome I felt every time was wonderful. And I know that there was a group of people who was making a family tree of the printers back when everybody was printing parts for someone else. Mm-hmm. And there is actually somewhere on Wiki, it's called Prusismos.
Yeah.
So they adapted my name to some basic 3D printing actions. Yeah. So it was very cool.
Well, I have to confess that my MK4 name is Uncle Joseph.
Oh.
like you are taking care of my prints, Yeah. But you are very appreciated in the Spanish community, and whenever something coming from Prusa, a lot of people appreciate it like a good thing for them, because Prusa is for them something like reliable, something like they can trust.
Thank you. And I plan to pick up Spanish.
It's a complicated language, I have to say. From the
have you heard about Czech language?
I have heard about Polish, and I think both languages are close.
Spanish is doable, but I just need to have a little bit of time, and I would say some spare learning energy in my brain.
Yeah,
but
too much things to do, Spanish. But they only have 24 hours,
Yes.
Okay. The next thing we would like to ask you, where do you think 3D printing is heading in the next decade, and how are Prusa research and these products preparing for that future? It's a complex one.
Yeah, it is. It is rather complex. I don't want to go into too much detail, but there is a plan to overtake everything from the West by some subsidies in China. So it's quite difficult for a European company to say, but we are doing great, and we will definitely remain. But from the printer standpoint, it is about making it easier to use, so more people can pick it up, and the whole portfolio, not just the hardware, but the printables, helping people to model, develop the slicer, all of this together.
This triangle, hardware, software, referring to Prusa slicer, and also the printables. I think that connection you have, it's very powerful, and I think it's a good thing to hear from you that you are.
Are you on printables?
Yeah, I have a lot of points. I have tried a lot of PG for free, thanks to the points from my community.
I love it. I love it. When we were setting it up, I wanted the community to be vibrant and engaging. So instead of just giving points for uploading models, I really wanted to give points for people uploading the pictures of the models.
Interacting.
Because this, for a designer, it is such a great feeling when they see somebody made your model. And I want to stress out that printables, it's our love project. It's not making money. Even the fact that we added clubs for designers, the fees we get from it, it is nothing. It is our love project. We are investing into it because we really feel that for the 3D printing community to thrive, there has to be something like printables. So if somebody wants to support us, buy some filament or get a printer, so we can keep the printables going.
I didn't say, but if you want to buy something from these guys, you have the links to Prusa website down below in the comment in the description of the video. Okay. Currently, your most popular machine for the big public, we can say, it's the MK4, which is a logical evolution about coming from the MK3. Will the next generation of Prusas, MK5, for example, will follow the same path as this kind of evolution, or will time something different, like, for example, Core XY?
Well, that is also very broad question. I don't know if the Mark V will be the main printer, but if we let me say it this way: if we find some new technologies and we decided that it deserves the different design printer, we would still do like Mark 4.5 with most of it, which you can efficiently upgrade.
Okay, that's a good answer. I know that this question was like complex. We appreciate the answer. The following question comes from a Twitch community friendly to Control 3D called 2 Factoria 3D, something like your 3D factory. They make lives in Twitch and something like that. They have a very good community, and they want to know if you believe that open source has a future.
It is quite difficult, honestly, and what has been happening over the past years is kind of disheartening, because the open source, everything was nice and dandy, and if everyone keeps giving back, it is wonderful. But unfortunately, I've seen a couple of the companies now. They are testing the limits, what the community accepts, and slowly moving. And then, the value proposition it is definitely for a longer talk, but we are going to keep Slicer open, the firmware open, and from the hardware side, we are going to be open as much as possible. And but
for me, it's something that 3D printer really needs. Because if we close everything, where are the heart of the 3D printers? This is a bit, sentimental from my point of view. But one thing that makes great, for example, printers as Prusa and others, is the feedback from community, because community can try these things.
It is for much longer debate, and obviously we are just talking little points, and there's this large context. So I hope nobody will just be nitpicking the little comments I made. When a new company is called out on Twitter because it's found out that they are using open source project and claiming it's their own, there's an outrage, but the outrage lasts 2 days, and then whatever. So what does this say to the companies? Like, to get shit for 2 days on Twitter? Oh, that's totally worth it. I mean, Slicer will remain open source. That's never going to change. But we have 15 developers who work every day on it, and then some Kickstarter company just reskins it and says, hey, we have a slicer.
Yeah.
They never put anything back. It is disheartening. So, and the only, for example, if you are to sue them, it's almost impossible because they are based in China. Good luck with that.
Yeah.
Then how would you define the damages? Because you are giving the software for free, right? Or the other option would be to maybe prevent importing the product into the European Union. But I mean, there is no physical copy of the software in the printer. So they basically know they can fuck with everyone and there will be nothing happening to them, which is very sad. And we are doing open source because we just love it so much, but this is very, very stressful. And there is not enough advocacy in the community. A couple people could explain to the newcomers to the community what the open source really is.
I just want to put you an example about how I see the future about this thing. I had a Prusa Mini from 3 years ago, I think, something like that. And I messed up with my Mini. I don't know how, but I broke the extruder, a completely mess. Now I convert my Prusa Mini in a Prusa Mini Bear. And I installed Clipper as firmware. The point here is I don't even just have the ability, the capacity to repair my Prusa, but also I have the ability to improve the printer, to give my printer a second life, a better life, and the printer now is update. That's something that is only possible thanks to open source.
Yes. Well, there is various levels of how it can be. The ultimate is like every file, every nut, every bolt, PCBs, firmwares, bootloaders. But for example, what you did, the printer even doesn't have to be fully open source. It's a mod. But I'm very happy that you are keeping the Mini alive. But we released a new input shaping firmware. You should try it out. I think you will love it.
And that's the next question that I want to. I have two questions related to what have we discussed now with the open source. The next question is: are you consider using Clipper-based firmware in your upcoming 3D printer models?
Oh, these deltas, they have Clipper.
This one have Clipper.
Yes.
We later we will.
I spoke with the guys. They're from Clipper and Mainsail, and this is a perfect way to dip our toes into it. And especially there is the Delta calibrations or Delta specific calibrations in Clipper are just so nice, and it felt like we wouldn't do it as good on our body platform. So yeah, this is running Clipper.
For example, I tried Clipper on my NK3, and it's impressive what the NK3 can do now with Clipper. And I thought, oh my God! And it's just with a very basic Clipper I have made in 5 minutes. Like, what can Prusa can make?
I mean, you can do the same and much more on the Mark IV with the body platform. We have all the power panic, recoveries, crash detection, and input shaping. But yeah, the Delta calibrations were such an undertaking that we decided to go this way.
Nice.
And we've been shipping Linux on some of our printers for quite some time, especially on the SL1, the SL8 machines. So we have some experience. So this was the solution we came up with.
Or nice. Well, another question related to the open source thing was like, what's your opinion about the current competition's 3D printers whose main selling point is super high speed printing?
Well, we've actually done an article about it on the blog, and it's stupid.
Why?
It is stupid because the companies we are talking about are not that far, right? But it's like 20,000 acceleration,
Yeah.
25. Then in the print settings, you have like 10 for the infill, 5 for the parameters, yada yada yada.
Yeah, and then later a volumetric speed very low.
Yeah. And there's, in this speed craze, people don't realize that the lamination between the layers is definitely not as strong. So, for example, in our input shaping settings, we always have, for the layer line, we have speed and structural. So, a little bit slower where the filament has time to create the bonds.
yeah.
So I think it will die down a little bit, but what I enjoyed so well that I think New York Times did a test of the new fast printers, and Mark IV actually won.
I really want to make.
We are not doing any like speed bullshit marketing, but it produced the best and fastest benchy.
I really want to make a deeper comparison between a lot of printers in the market. I have in my studio Abron, Bambus, Prusas, Crealities, a lot, and I want to really make a deep comparison about it because, as you said, marketing is very powerful. Like claiming 600 millimeters per second. Okay, when and how? It's not so easy to claim that.
Do you have a Mark IV?
Yeah.
How do you think, when you are thinking about getting the new machine, do you care where is it made? Because basically, we make everything and source locally in Prague and Europe. Does it matter to you?
For me, it's an important thing, but I have to confess, it's not the main thing.
Yes. That is not what I meant, but if it is part of the process, or maybe that you are a little proud that you supported a company which is just a couple 100 kilometers
for sure. And for example, one thing that I really appreciate coming from the MK4, it's that the board was developed here in Czech Republic.
Yeah,
it's something like when we think in electronics, we all the time think in China. For example, the electronics of my smartphone, it's developed in China. So thinking that something so complex is developed here, it's
So I mean, they definitely think different about copyrights, and over there we found out accidentally that we've been sourcing like 2 years ago a prototype board. In one of the quick service things, and then like 2 months after that, we found the picture of the unreleased product board on a listing on AliExpress.
really.
So yeah, I'm very into moving everything into Czechia,
local.
because you cannot trust anyone.
You have something interesting, and it's related to the next question. It's like, what do you think a user values most in a 3D printer today? You have talked about where the machine is produced.
I mean, it is a compound answer. I don't think people they care that they slicer material printer. They just want to take the file and be as quickly finished with as little hassle as possible. That they value the experience.
I think you have reached one thing. I think it's not a silly thing that your printers are reliable.
Yes.
It's something like, for example, for me, I'm printing now some things in your polycarbonate filament.
Oh, the PC blend?
Yeah,
I love it.
awesome. And the finish, the surface is a dream. But I have to print some pieces for a functional project I'm having with in my office, and it's like I have to print this filament. Okay, the Prusa. It's like I'm not going to stop to make the calibrations in another printer. I know Prusa is going to make it well. Even with PC, even with flexible materials and whatever, excepting ABS, because I don't want to print ABS in an open space.
But if you have enclosure, we have very good certified filter, which comes to the enclosure. Because a lot of companies, they put a little sack of activated carbon, and yeah,
That's all.
no, it doesn't work like that. But you can print ABS with our enclosure and the filter we have.
The last one, and yeah, and then we set you free from our torture.
We don't have to rush it. I'm enjoying it.
Ah, thank you. Me too, but I'm a bit worried about the time because, you know, I think you are tired and you have a lot of things to do. But we jump to the last question. This one is a bit philosophical. No, it's a good one. Okay, it's not.
I'm scared.
No, it's not directly related to 3D printer. You know, Joseph, I have found myself now as businessman. I have my own company. It's small. I have a team of 5 people. I'm proud of it. But thinking about you, you have a slogan that says something like, "Everyone is a maker. Only I am a printer." This means that you have transformed 3D printer sector. So I like to end the interview with your advice as businessman. You know, think back when you start this project, when you have the younger Josef Prusa starting with this crazy thing that you have created. What would you tell to the Joseph from the past?
Okay.
One advice.
So I will start with explaining what that slogan means. It is actually a quite funny story. Everyone is a maker, only I'm a printer. Because I've been doing RepRap project for quite some time. And I started to travel and do talks at universities. And I was always Prusa, introducing myself. And they were like, "Oh, I thought that's the name of the company, like Print USA." So it got quite annoying. So I was thinking of a cheeky way how to explain it that the Prusa is actual person. So I came up with this, and it is kind of broken English, big letters. So I accidentally stumbled upon a design which really pulls the eyes on you, and you know we are using it for 10 years, and I think it's going to stay with us for some more time.
It's a good slogan. I really and it's real. It's like you are actually a printer. Like, you are both a man and a printer.
Yeah.
But coming back to the question, what advice would you tell to the Joseph from the past?
Oh, I would tell young Joe that he should delegate quicker and more.
I buy that advice for myself. Well, in closing, I would like to thank you, Joseph, for your time. It was really funny, of course. I really appreciate your time, even more here in Formnext, that we are like crazy. We can see. So thank you.
It is awesome, and I would like to be more engaged in Spanish-speaking 3D printing community. So thank you for this, and I would be completely up to do some follow-up.
Thank you very much, Joseph.
Bye.
Bueno, gente, y hasta aquí lo que ha sido la entrevista con Josef Prusa. Primero de todo, disculpas por mi nivel de inglés tipo Magic English, pero bueno, la verdad que creo que se ha podido entender, sobre todo Josef y yo nos pudimos entender bien, pudimos mantener una conversación. Y bueno, antes de pasar con los minutos finales, os recuerdo que por cada vídeo que publico regalamos una suscripción a la Academia Online Control 3D.net, la mejor academia de diseño, impresión 3D en habla hispana. Claro que sí, que ahora aparece por aquí el ganador o ganadora. Ya sabéis que a la publicación de este vídeo, en la pestaña de comunidad de Control 3D en YouTube, tenéis una encuesta. La comentáis, respondéis y dais a caer el ganador o ganadora. Ahora sí, en los minutos finales de los vídeos os quiero comentar cosas. Y bueno, quiero hacer una pequeña reflexión sobre lo que ha sido esta entrevista. A ver, primero, evidentemente, una cosa que estáis pensando muchos, que a mí también me ha pasado al ver la entrevista, es qué pena que no se haya podido desarrollar más ciertos temas. Claro, evidentemente, a mí me habría encantado seguir rajando ahí con Josef. De hecho, os tengo que decir que después, fuera de cámara, él y yo compartimos esa visión, ¿no? Joder, aquí la verdad que ojalá tuviéramos más tiempo para quedarnos hablando. Pero claro, pensar que en una feria como Formnext, Josef Prusa está solicitado, ¿no?, lo siguiente. O sea, tuvimos, en principio, nos habían reservado como 15-20 minutos y estuvimos más de media hora. O sea que ya de entrada ahí se portaron súper bien con nosotros y fueron súper flexibles para que estuviéramos más rato con él. O sea que si decís, joder, tal, es que aquí hay algún tema, pues bueno, ya os digo, no descartamos en algún futuro volver a hacer alguna colaboración con Josef Prusa o con Prusa Research. O sea que si hay alguno de estos temas que os haya gustado en especial, por ejemplo, a mí todo el tema del open source me ha parecido de las preguntas más interesantes, donde hay más chicha, ¿no? Así que bueno, son cosas que podrían estar bien. Luego, otro tema que también quería comentar aquí en los minutos finales, y es mi percepción sobre Josef Prusa. Y es que sobre esto yo he visto siempre mucho misticismo en internet, mucho... Sí, misticismo es la palabra, que hay gente que dice que va muy subidito, gente que puede decir que tal, como que es como una figura misteriosa, ¿no? Yo os puedo decir, no tanto por la entrevista, sino sobre todo por el rato de después que estuvimos ahí hablando un rato él y yo, así más de temas personales, ni siquiera relacionados directamente con la impresión 3D. He de decir que Josef Prusa me parece, y lo digo de todo corazón, una muy buena persona. Me parece un tío súper majo. En la entrevista he de decir que Prusa estaba malo, estaba ahí como, no sé si como medio acatarrado o algo así me comentaron. Y aún así se prestó a la entrevista, el tío estaba, pues ya le veis, en plan de, sí, claro, yo lo que tú quieras, pregúntame, tal. O sea, estaba el tío encima como muy proactivo. Se le notaba que estaba un poco apagadillo, pero aún estando malo, el tío se prestó ahí a estar con nosotros. Y ya os digo que, joder, la verdad que me ha parecido muy buena gente, Prusa. No sé, es la percepción que he tenido yo. Sí es verdad que apenas he podido estar algo más de media hora con él, pero ¿qué queréis que os diga? Me ha transmitido muy buena vibra Josef como persona. Y luego, en general, toda la gente de Prusa Research, tanto a mí como a la gente que me estaba echando un cable con el tema de la grabación, se portaron con nosotros de puta madre. O sea, nos abrieron ahí como las puertas de su stand, ahí hablando con nosotros, friqueando sobre máquinas y tal, pues como es un poco en la Printer Party, los que habéis estado, pues un poco ese rollo. Y los que hayáis estado precisamente en la Printer Party entenderéis a lo que me refiero, ¿no? Que es un rollo que no es forzado, que es un rollo que te sale como muy natural. Así que desde aquí, la verdad, quería compartir un poco esa percepción con vosotros, la que yo he tenido al menos. Decid lo que queráis, si no lo pensara no lo diría, así de claro, directamente no estaría diciendo esto, porque ya os digo, independientemente de que hagamos más colaboraciones en el futuro o no, las cosas hay que decirlas por justicia. Y bueno, pues espero que os haya gustado esta entrevista. Espero que, joder, es de las primeras veces que Josef Prusa se presta a un medio de habla hispana para poder un poco dar una entrevista, así que espero que os haya gustado. Si queréis más contenido chulo e interesante, que estamos a punto de subir también un resumen del Formnext, os podéis suscribir en este botón de aquí. Y mi cara me está tapando un vídeo que podéis ir a ver, así que nos vemos en la próxima. ¡Chao, gente!